2 million views with just 1,200 followers. That's what my buddy Scott was able to do with one of his last reels on his Instagram account, on his gym page. In today's video, we're gonna dissect that reel and look at it and say, hey, what key takeaways can I give you from this? What things did Scott do right? And what can you replicate for your own Instagram to help yourself go viral in the future? Let's get into it. And really quick before we get into the video, you guys should check out my ebook. It's 100% free right now. It's just everything that got me to 30,000 followers. So if you guys want that, again, it is free. There's the link. Thanks, guys. So as you can see, Scott's got 1,270 followers. His page is not real huge yet. And down here, he's got one of these reels that really just popped off with a nice 1.9 million views. It's on its way to 2 million. It's not quite there yet, but again, Scott is a growing page. So, man, this thing's got a lot of comments too, over 100,000 comments. So I downloaded the video here. I'm gonna let it play through for you guys so you guys can get an idea of, first of all, what the reel is. So as you guys can see, this is definitely kind of a funny gym reel, right? Like he's going for something crazy here. But there's a few key takeaways that I want to talk about with this reel and a couple things that Scott did right that I think we can all take away and replicate with our own reels, even if you're not tugging on someone's hair at the gym. So first of all, I don't know if this is going to make the YouTube cut or if I'm going to have to silence it, but he used a trending sound. And specifically the sound that he used is J. Cole's song She Knows, which obviously on TikTok and on social media right now is a popular song for shorts. So one of the first things right off the bat, is cliche as it sounds, is part of going viral, part of getting a reel or a video to pop sometimes, is just putting the right soundtrack behind it. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be a super trending sound, something that everybody's using. If you just sync up the right sound for the mood that you're going for with your video, a lot of times that's a huge help. Now the second part to this is obviously the humor. I've talked about it before on my YouTube channel, but humor is just one of those things that's impossible to beat. When you evoke strong emotion in people, that's gonna help you to just get so many more views. Humor, in my experience, is always been the thing that's got me the most views on any of my Instagram reels, or really any video that I've posted online. Now, one of the more kind of deeper psychological things that you see here is when he gets this transition right here after he grabs the ropes, and it transitions over to this individual's head and hair, is you get this really pixelated edit, right? Now, I told Scott when he first showed me this reel before he ever kind of published it, I said, hey man, that right there, I know for a fact that's gonna go real, or is gonna go viral, and here's why. That pixelated edit, the first time I watched it, I didn't understand what I was looking at. I didn't understand that this was a person with hair, because you gotta keep in mind, it's a reel, right? It just keeps cycling through. So when you only get that end payoff, it's only, let's see how many seconds it is. You get the payoff from the edit for about 4 or 5 seconds at the end here, where you see the back of the person's head, you see that pixelated edit. It's not immediately clear what you're looking at. And I told Scott, this is gonna help increase your watch time drastically, because people are gonna watch this 2 or 3 times sometimes before they identify what the heck the thing at the end of the video is. So when you're talking about a viral formula, if you can have that end payoff that is a payoff, but people have to watch it a couple times to get that payoff, to get that laugh, to understand what's at the end of the video, that right there can be a huge way to boost your watch time, which ultimately helps you to go more viral, go farther in the algorithm. Now looking back at the beginning of the video, I'm gonna try and pause it here. So you see immediately the text on the screen that Scott's put up here. He says, these rope pull downs got me fantasizing. Now, this is not super clear off the bat to anybody just kind of looking at this, but this is a hook. You're actually being hooked in by that sentence, right? And it's not a conventional hook. But saying got me fantasizing, and then kind of people are watching it, like got you fantasizing about what, right? They're just seeing standard rope pull downs. So to his gym audience that's doing rope pull downs every week anyways, they're like, what is he fantasizing about, right? It is a hook, even though it may not be as clear of a hook as other hooks that you've seen on Instagram. And ultimately, that's one thing that I've noticed with Instagram Reels or with any viral content really, is if you want your hook to be effective, it can't really just be an obvious hook, right? Now, one of the parts that killed me is in this video, right? You can see that he's tugging on hair, right? Like, you guys get the idea. You guys get what is funny about this. The part that's actually funny to me, and part of the reason that this has gone so far in the algorithm, is if you read the comments in this man's video, everybody is like, Scott likes his girls built like a truck. Like, like look at the shoulders on this female, right? One of the top comments too is like, "Hey mom, will you help me make a TikTok?" So people are joking about the girl in the video, right? How big the girl is, or that, you know, just the fact that the girl was willing to do this. The funniest part to me about this video is that this is actually a dude. It's our buddy Shaden, and he's huge. He's like 6'7" or something. He's a giant, and Scott's tugging on his hair in this video. So having that kind of thing where people are commenting like, "Wow, this girl is huge," right? Because it's outside the realm of expectations. If you're tugging on a girl's hair allegedly, you would expect her to look like a girl, right? Like Shaden clearly does not look like a girl. He's built bigger. So having that kind of deception in there, to where you think it's one thing but it's really another, and then it drives comments, it drives engagement. People are saying that is a built female, right? That's another way that Scott is able to drive his engagement up here, get more comments, go further in the algorithm. And then the other thing that I really think is worth addressing here is look at the watch time in this video, right? Like we can watch this entire video in less than 15 seconds. And the total video is 11 seconds long. So that's one thing that's really important, I think, when you're first starting out with Reels. And this is one thing that I've found for myself, is figuring out where can I cut the fat. And this is something that bigger creators like even Logan Paul have talked about, is there's always so much fat that you can cut from your content, but people don't recognize it, because when you're making your own content, it's easy to like think of everything as sort of important. And particularly when you're new to making Reels or you're new to making video, is thinking like, oh, like this is just a clip, I'll leave it. But even if you can cut out like these milliseconds here and there, it really does add up at the end to make the product a little bit better. So if we look at the timing of Scott's video, right? If I'm scrolling and I see this for the first time, these rope pull downs got me fantasizing. Now I'm looking at his rope pull downs. Okay, he's grabbing it kind of creepy. Oh, it just transitioned to, is that some chick's hair? Right? So everything is perfectly timed for your psychology and how long it's going to take your brain to understand what's going on, right? And that's only going to increase your watch time as a percentage, right? So where Scott's video is only 11 seconds long, it's very easy to get people to watch 100% of that with how he's timed everything out. Whereas if it was, let's say, 15 seconds and there was some fat, I might get bored halfway through him doing rope pull downs and just swipe. And now instead of getting 100% watch time to the end, he got 50% watch time from me because I swiped halfway through the video. So one thing you got to think about is how can I condense my video and make it so short that people are going to watch it all the way through, if not twice. And then another smaller thing that's kind of worth talking about here is you can see that the font on here is from TikTok, right? This is actually made on TikTok, even though it went viral on Instagram. And I talked to my buddy Scott, and one tweak that he made that I kind of told him about that I think is important for you guys to know is, if you're posting your content on TikTok, if you're making your content on TikTok like this, do not just hit save on TikTok and then repost it on Instagram. You're going to have that little TikTok watermark bouncing around your video. Not only does that not look good, but also Instagram actually devalues content with the TikTok watermark. Instagram is going to basically hold your video back from reaching as many people if you've got that TikTok watermark. So one small tweak that Scott made here that definitely contributed to these 2 million views is he used a TikTok downloader. And I'm not even going to Google it here. I mean, you guys can find it out. If you just type in TikTok video downloader, you guys will find it. So if you make your own video on TikTok, if you're trying to, rehash somebody else's video, that's the way to do it. It's just with a simple TikTok video downloader. That way you're not getting any watermarks on your video, and it's not going to get devalued by Instagram's algorithm. And then I think another takeaway is looking at his video, right? You get one camera angle, two camera angles when he switches the ropes, and then three when he switches to our buddy Shaden. And just by getting these three camera switches, right? Think about the math on this. This is an 11-second video, and you're seeing three different camera switches. What does that mean? That means we're switching roughly every 4 seconds in the video. Now, if you've ever watched a TV show and paid attention to how often they actually switch camera angles in the show, switch different scenes and whatnot, it tends to be about every 3 to 8 seconds on average. So if you can replicate that in your online content, it's going to feel more like you're watching a TV show. The production value goes way through the roof, and people are going to feel like they're watching something that's more worth their time, as opposed to what you're watching right now, which is just me staring at you from one angle, right? And then lastly, kind of looking at the distribution again for this video, Scott's used a ton of great hashtags. He really filled out his hashtags in his description, or in his caption rather. And everything is super specific to what he covers, which is the gym, right? He's got some specific content creators that he's similar to in here, like Alex Eubank. And so when you're talking about sending a reel up and trying to go viral, this is an underrated part as well, is making sure that your hashtags are right. You want it to be specific to what you're covering, whatever topic or niche you're in. You know, if you're not a gym page, maybe you're a hairstylist, you got to think about what kind of hashtags are small enough that I can get into that hashtag and maybe climb to the top of it if I go viral, but also big enough that there are actually people looking at this hashtag. And that's something that Scott's done great here. His caption honestly could use maybe a little bit of work. It says just jokes, just jokes. Actually, that might be enough with how simple the video is and not wanting to let the cat out of the bag that Shaden is actually a dude at the end of the video, right? Because that did get Scott more engagement. But typically, if you guys are trying to make viral reels, it's actually a good thing to have a thicker caption, because we talk about watch time, right? How many people or how many times people are watching your video all the way through. You're going to be competing with videos where they've got a caption that's 16 paragraphs and people are reading that, watching videos through 20 times in the background. So you also want to bolster your caption if you can help it, if it makes sense with your video, because that's going to boost your watch time and it's going to help you to compete with some of these other content creators in your space. So I hope that kind of helps you guys a little bit to get some real examples of going viral with reels. I think it's important sometimes to, kind of look at these real examples and dissect it. And I wanted to just give a big shout out to my buddy Scott. He approached me saying he wanted to grow on Instagram, so I've given him a couple pointers, but really this kid is just gone hard and really is just putting in all sorts of work on his own, and he's constantly coming to me with new things I didn't even know about Instagram. So big shout out to Squat Black 7. You guys should follow him on Instagram. Thank you guys for your time. Make sure to hit subscribe if you got value from this. And my name is Mitchell. God bless you guys, and thank you.